Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley and today I'm going to be doing my end of the year TBR. So for 2018 we only have about 6 full weeks left, which is absolutely insane. I feel like 2018 has just flown by. I want to show you guys the 10 books that I really want to get to before this year is over. So a lot of these are really popular titles that people have been reading, have already read in previous years, or have been released in 2018 and people have already gotten to them, but I'm just late to the game and haven't gotten to those yet. So a lot of new sequels and upcoming series are coming out in 2019 and I want to make sure that I'm caught up and ready to pick up those sequels when they come out. And that's kind of what inspired this video. So before I waste any more time, I've got 10 books to get into, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in. The first book I want to mention to you guys is Check Please by Ngozi Ukazu. I just hauled this book in my recent fall book haul. This is a graphic novel about a guy in college. He's a freshman and he's also a hockey player and he really likes to bake. This is his story sort of about growing up and it's so cute. The art style is just so cute. I can't get over it. So I really want to pick this up soon. It just seems really lighthearted and fun. The next book I have is actually a recent release and I just hauled this as well, and that is Blanca and Roja by Anna Marie McLemore. This is supposed to be a beautiful story about a world where there are always two sisters and one of them is sort of chosen to be the swan, and one of these sisters is sure she's going to be the one that's chosen and then she isn't, and it's sort of about her and her sister just trying to save each other and this beautiful relationship, and it just sounds so good and I just really want to get to this soon. I know this has been going around a lot recently and I've only really seen good reviews for it, so I'm definitely hoping for the best with this one. Moving forward with the second new release that I just picked up, that is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Ngan. So this is a fantasy story all about a world where this king has concubines, and every time he sort of goes to get his new round of concubines, he picks 7 girls, and this time he picks 8. And it's a story about rebellion, I'm assuming, and it has a beautiful female-female relationship in it, and I'm just really excited to pick this up. I actually have really high hopes for this one. This sounds like a beautiful fantasy story that I'm anticipating giving 5 stars, so I'm really praying that this one does not let me down. Then this next one I have should come as no surprise, as it has been getting a ton of buzz with its counterparts released last month, and that is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. If you don't know what Vicious is about, I am very surprised because, as I said, this has been everywhere lately with the release of Vengeful. And this is essentially a story about 2 best friends who one sort of goes bad and the other goes not as bad, and we've got elements of superheroes and supervillains in it, and it just sounds so good and everybody loves it, and I really like V.E. Schwab's writing, so I'm hoping that this one sticks for me as much as it has been sticking with everybody else, and I hope that I can get to this one before the end of the year. So this next one is probably the most embarrassing out of this stack of books that I have, because I have literally nothing to say for myself in terms of why I haven't picked up this what I already know is a phenomenal story, and that is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. So as I said, I have literally no excuses for myself. I don't know why I haven't read this story yet. This is a Black Lives Matter story about a girl named Star who is with her best friend when he is shot and killed by the police, and this story follows the aftermath of that, and it's all about finding your voice and being proud of who you are and your heritage and being strong and moving forward in the face of events like this that unfortunately happen all too often. So I really need to pick this up. I know the movie just came out in October and I still haven't seen it because I wanted to read this first, and I just really have nothing to say for myself except for the fact that this needs to happen before 2018 is over with. But I think I've been putting it off because I know it's gonna make me really upset, and I just don't like to be upset. Like, I'm not a person that likes to read contemporaries to be upset. I like to read them because I think they're gonna be beautiful, and I usually end up upset, and then I'm like, damn it, I'm just gonna go back to reading fantasy because my heart's not as in jeopardy as much over there. So the next two I have are kind of some throwbacks, and the first one is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. So I actually read City of Bones a couple months ago after reading The Infernal Devices earlier this year. I wanted to jump back into this. I have read the first 3 books already, so this is a reread for me, but I haven't read it in many, many years. City of Bones was kind of a mess, which is okay. I mean, I think we all sort of know that at this point, and just kind of move forward with it. This though, I am anticipating enjoying. I know I really liked the third one the best when I read it back when it was just the original trilogy, so I've got decent expectations for this. I really want to move forward with this series because I've heard a lot about the Dark Artifices, and that sounds really interesting, so I really want to push through these, as many as I can get through the end of the year, and since they usually go pretty fast for me, I'm gonna add it to this list. Yeah, I want to get at least like through 1 or 2 of those by the end of the year. Another one that is a little older that I really want to get to by the end of the year is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. So this is the second book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. This is the series that Laini Taylor had before Strange the Dreamer came out, and I've heard that there's some Easter eggs in the Strange the Dreamer series from this series, so I wanted to pick this one up before I dove into that duology, and I just finished The Daughter of Smoke and Bone the day I'm filming this actually, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Her writing is just absolutely incredible. I can definitely see why it's so easy for people to fall into her stories. She truly is a master storyteller in my opinion. And I've heard that this one really only gets better, and I don't want to spoil anything for the first book, but essentially this world is about angels and monsters and this age-old war between the two, and a girl named Karu who is a human but sort of has a monster family, and she meets this angel named Akiva, and they form this relationship, and it's sort of about their story and the war that's going on around them, and it's just really good. I would highly recommend checking this out if you haven't already. I can see where the pacing might be a little difficult for people to keep interest with, because during the middle of Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I sort of found myself like, okay, like let's get to the point. But I've heard that this one only gets better, as I said, so I'm really hopeful that this will be really good. So another throwback that I've got, and should also come as no surprise, with the huge amount of buzz that's been surrounding this series lately, with the last book in this series just coming out, is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. So I have read The Assassin's Blade and then the first 3 books in the series, but I haven't read this in years. Like I haven't picked up Throne of Glass in at least 2 years, I'm pretty sure. So I feel like I should reread this and then continue on with the series because I don't remember a lot of the details. Something I do remember though is that I really didn't enjoy this the first time I read it. So I haven't been looking forward to that. Heir of Fire was definitely my favorite out of the 4 books that I've read in this series so far. So it's been sort of hard to push myself to dive back into Throne of Glass because I know it's not my favorite one. But it's sort of like, you know, you gotta sift through the bad to get to the good sort of thing. Not that this is bad, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed her other works. So I've been sort of like putting it off and procrastinating on it, but I really do want to continue on with the series and make some more progress in it by the end of the year. So I'm adding this to my list to hold myself accountable for that. So the second to last pick I have is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. So this has also been getting a ton of buzz because Arch Enemies just came out, and I still have not read this. I've had this on my shelf since the middle of the summer when I hauled it, and it sounds like a really good YA science fiction superhero story. A lot of people that I've seen have really enjoyed this. I honestly haven't seen too many people that didn't enjoy it. I haven't read her Lunar Chronicles series, so I'm really hoping that I don't need to dive into this series. But I just haven't been able to stop thinking about this lately since Arch Enemies has come out, so I need to dive into this very soon. And then the final book I have is probably going to be a little bit of a shock because everybody but me has read this, it feels like at this point, and that is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Like, I am so determined to read this soon that I even have a bookmark already in there. Like, it's gonna happen soon. So this is a dark fae story. I'm sure you guys already know what this is about. This has been all over, especially with the Lost Sisters novella that just recently got released. I know The Wicked King comes out in January, so I really need to get my shit together and dive into this very soon. In this world, the fae are not nice, they are not kind, they do not secretly love humans and just want to do it with them. Like, they are mean and manipulative, which is true to the source material of the fae. So if you're sort of more familiar with the mythology of fae, then that won't come as a surprise to you. And I just know that I'm gonna love this story, so someone come and light a fire under my ass to get me into The Cruel Prince before I get spoiled for it any more than I already have. So there you guys have it. Those are the top 10 books that I want to read before 2018 is up. I've already read 68 books this year so far, so I really feel like I could do another 10. Like, I feel like it could happen. You know what I mean? I just need to not get in a reading slump, not get sidetracked, and not just lay around watching TV. So if you have read any of these books, please let me know what you thought about them down below. If you haven't read any of these books and you still want to by the end of the year, also let me know, because I'm really feeling like I am on my own with a lot of these titles that have been super popular and loved for quite a while now. So that's all I've got for you guys for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!